Welcome to the Tavern Community Podcast. Today we're joined by Somya Gupta, founder and CTO of Context. Somya, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Frank. I'm honored.
And congratulations. I hear that you are in your senior year, is that right, at NYU?
Actually, I'm a master's student, so yep, I'm in my final semester. I graduate in like 31 days, so I'm excited.
Amazing, amazing. So you are majoring in computer science.
Yes, just like everyone else, I guess, these days. Yeah, it's been a really fun experience at NYU and doing CS. Great professors, lots of learnings. Yep.
Amazing, amazing. So can you actually take us, is the campus downtown in the city? Is it in Midtown?
No, so the main campus is right by Greenwich Village, but then I go to the engineering school. It's called Tavern, and it's in downtown Brooklyn. So that's where I go, and yeah, it's a fun campus, and it's a newer campus actually. So I think it used to be Brooklyn Poly, so only the OG New Yorkers would know that, and then NYU had bought it like I think 13, 14 years ago, and they named it Tandon School of Engineering, and yeah, it's an really up and coming engineering school. It's doing great, and I think maybe in 10 years would be one of the top 5 schools.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. So did you go to high school in New York?
No, I'm originally from India, so did my high school, undergrad, everything back in India, and then I moved here fall of 2023.
Amazing, amazing. So India, that's incredible, dude.
Yep.
So I have some friends who are Tamil, South Indian,
Okay.
if I'm saying that correctly.
Oh yeah, you got it right. Not many people do it. So yeah.
And then also one of my favorite dishes of all time is dosa.
Oh
I have
wow,
to admit.
really? No way. That's so great. Awesome.
If there are any Indian places around Midtown, by the way, or Hell's Kitchen, please
Oh,
let me know. We
there
can go to
are.
dinner, man. There are.
Absolutely. I could take you one right after this. So yeah, this is a great
Dude.
neighborhood, honestly. Yeah.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, no, honestly, it's one of my favorite cuisines because I was
Yeah.
vegetarian for a while.
Oh really? Okay.
And man, I would get like the chutneys,
Oh
the paratha, the roti,
wow. Hey man, you're
Yeah.
making me hungry, huh?
the dal,
Oh wow.
the mango lassi.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. I actually had mango lassi yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man. Dude,
there's some Indian festival today. It's Tamil New Year actually today. So
amazing.
yeah.
Congrats.
So we went to there's a temple right in Queens, Flushing. So we went there and had good South Indian food. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh man, South Indian food. Wow.
Yeah,
What
so
is
we
that
had-
place called?
It's called the Hindu temple. Yeah, it's just called the Hindu temple,
Wow.
and the canteen. Oh, they have actually great Indian food. Yeah, we had dosa, which you love.
Oh my god.
So you'll love it there. Yeah.
Dude, I'm
yeah.
getting hungry.
Oh yeah.
We have to pause the podcast and come back. And then no, dude. So that's amazing. So
Yeah.
where in India did you grow up?
Chennai, born and raised Chennai. Lived there the first 24 years of my life almost, and then New York was my first city outside India. So yeah.
Wow, amazing.
Yep.
So computer science, a lot of my friends who are CS, they grew up, maybe they built an early app or a game, or they were just curious about the space. Like, was there like a pivotal moment in your childhood where you were like, okay, I'm going to be a CS major. I'm going to change the world with software.
Oh, good question. I think one major thing was in high school, my computer science teacher, she was great, just the way she thought the concept. And then I saw the possibilities of what can be done with software and technology. And this was 2014. So, wow, 11 years ago. I'm old, sad. But that gave me a taste of computer science and just building softwares and how cool it is. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do. But my undergrad, I did in electronics because my parents forced me to take electronics, unfortunately. And that's when I decided, I'm never going to listen to my parents. But I think still it was a great experience learning electronics, got to work a lot in hardware. Even during my undergrad, I worked with an health tech startup, helped them go from 0 to 1, helped them build an IoT-based product, which we deploy in over 80 schools and hotels in India. So I think
Wow.
that was a great learning experience, and that experience actually gave me the taste for startups. So I was like, you know what, I love it, building something from scratch, building something that solves people's problems. And this was during COVID, so I was like, you know what, I want to be an entrepreneur and do something with technology. And I was like, I got a job as a software engineer at Ford Motor Company, worked there for almost 22 months, and then I got into NYU. I'm like, this is my calling. Finally, I'm going to computer science, which I wanted to do in undergrad. So Came here. I still remember. I think August 17, 2023. That's when I landed in New York. Oh yeah, great experience.
Amazing.
And yeah, it's been 1.5 years, and I think some of the best time of my life I've had here. Yeah.
Dude, I love that.
Yep.
We got to talk about Ford at some point because I
Yes.
went to Oakland University in Rochester.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, University of Michigan, the Dearborn campus was right near Henry Ford's estate.
Oh right. Yeah. That's where the
Uh,
headquarters is. If I'm
And
not wrong.
Detroit is Motor City, right? So it's
Yes.
like, dude, my whole family, a lot of my family members were like lifelong Ford employees.
Oh wow! Look at that.
So that's really cool. You have that
My God,
time.
we have a good connection then in
yeah,
a way.
yeah, dude.
Awesome.
Honestly, dude, my whole family would love you. Maybe
Oh.
I'd be like adopted brothers or
Oh,
something.
Maybe. Yeah.
The podcast will just document our
Yeah.
brothers brotherhood as we as we progress.
Reuniting. Yeah. I'll come in my Bronco or something. I don't know.
We're
wow.
changing the name of the podcast to Frank and Somya, a brotherhood, for the ages.
For the ages. Sorry, Ben.
Ben, I love you,
Yeah.
bro. I found there's a new brother in town.
Oh yeah. Look at that! Wow.
No, but dude, honestly, that's amazing. So, was the health tech startup an internship that you found in the university, or was it how did you find that opportunity?
Oh, good question. So yes, it was an internship. Did it over the summer, from May 2020 till July, and actually, they found us in a way. So a friend of mine, we went to the same class, and he knew someone who was the startup founder, and he had another startup, and he wanted to build this product. So I'll basically tell you the problem. So if you remember during COVID, if you had to go to any public place, and that could be even your office, you had to first get your temperature checked, you had to get your hand sanitized, and if you're an employee, you had to get yourself checked in. So it's a whole manual process. There would usually be a person who would get this done. It would take minutes, and it was really annoying. So he wanted to build something where we could just automate this entire thing. And then he pitched us an idea, and he was like, "Can you build this for us?" And I and two other friends, we were like, "All right, let's do it." In COVID and lockdown, we're not doing anything else, just playing video games and stuff, wasting time. Let's actually do something meaningful. Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh my God. So we started with this, and it was a huge challenge because it was a hardware product, right? So
Okay.
an IoT based product, and we didn't have much resources. We did have the money, but then the shops would close soon. Finding those sensors was hard. Supply chain was all messed up during that time because it was COVID.
Wow.
So, and we had to build a prototype in 10 days because the founder who wanted to start this company, he really needed this in 10 days.
Wow.
So in 10 days, I and my friend, we sit at my house because it was lockdown, so we also couldn't go anywhere. So we just sit in my house, and we built this out of my garage, and in 10 days we had this prototype ready. He was so happy, and then he got some investment, and we started production. And like I said, in 3 months, we deployed like 80 units and across schools and hotels.
That's incredible. Man, congratulations. So I'm curious about a couple things there.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy was early stage. Did he raise any pre-seed seed round, or was he just like self-funding? He's like, okay, I'm diving in. I need a dev team immediately. And was he based in India as well?
Yes, based in India. He was based in the capital of India, Delhi, and I and my friend, we were working out first from Chennai, and he kind of self-funded it, and then with the prototype, he self-funded the prototype, and then he raised some money for building the actual product and setting up the entire production line. So,
Wow.
Yep.
So this is curious, like for CTOs out there, and people who are building. I'm curious to kind of like get further insight. So that opportunity, would you say that was like serendipitous timing? It kind of came to you through, was it like mutual friends or anything? Or did you like actively go out and, look on job boards and things, found a guy looking for an app? How did that kind of come together?
I think it was serendipitous. It came to me, but I think the most important thing was people knew what I was doing. I was still very active in college. So this friend of mine, we used to, build a lot of things together. This was not the first time I and him and another friend. So actually, we were a trio. We used to build a lot of cool shit together.
Awesome.
So I think in college, and that's why I tell people, college is the best time to build some cool shit. Keep building, and find your people with whom you can really build stuff. Especially your engineers. Find those cracked engineers with whom you want to build.
Dude, yeah, bro. I built like a smart lunchbox with my friends.
Oh, really?
My friend.
Do you still have it?
So about that.
Oh, okay.
Dude, it was just we duct taped a Raspberry Pi to
Oh,
like
you
an
sir.
old lunchbox.
Oh, wow. Oh, I
We're
love
like, okay,
it.
we
My
gotta
God.
raise like $5 million.
Oh, yeah. My God. Even the product, a lot of products that I used to build was on Raspberry Pi and Arduino. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
telling me this, I'm like, oh, I'm having memories. Oh, yeah. God, those are the days.
Did you work with GPIO pins and like
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I used to go to Micro Center and just get GPIO kits
Oh,
and just
wow.
build my own
Look at
stuff,
that.
man.
Oh, my God.
But that's cool. So experimentation
Yep.
is good for. Would you say becoming, pro at let's say engineering or becoming a CTO? Do you think it's important to like spend some of your time just like tinkering, building experimental projects?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got to keep building, something or the other. And many people I've seen, even my batchmates and friends, they say, okay, what do I build? And they try looking for problem statements. I'm like, start building something. Start building something that solves your own problems.
Yeah.
Maybe something that's bothering you. Why not just go ahead and build something like that? And I think so many companies have actually come out of that. If you see, so I think as a CTO or as anyone, honestly, and and I think just before we started recording this, we were talking about products like Lovable, and these kind of products have made it possible for anyone to build something. So there's no excuses in this day and age. No excuses to build your own shit.
Dude, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like literally, I mean, one prompt.
No, one
like a lot
prompt.
of these models are one shot.
Oh my God.
And like
Crazy.
honestly, if you go to Lovable is one of these.
Yeah.
I will give a shout out to Replit. I think they do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Bolt does a great job. Bolt.new.
Which is the best? You seem to have tried a lot of them.
Man, to be honest, I've tried Bolt, Lovable, Replit. I use Cursor.
Cause
as
I
an
love
IDE.
it. Yeah,
I
I
love
pay for it. Yeah,
Dude, same. It's
the best $20 I spend every month.
easiest $20. Please don't change the 500 credits.
Oh no, please don't. No.
Because it is incredible.
Yeah.
Dude, like, and a lot of it is so. Some people say, "Oh, why do I need to go get a degree or something?" I'm like, well, there are pros and cons, right?
Oh,
Some of the pros are there's still people that take that seriously, that piece of paper, for hiring, for whatever it may be, credibility. But also asking the right questions
exactly. Yeah.
is like a superpower nearly when it comes to prompt engineering, right?
Exactly.
Because like I can use the 100 credits or the 500 credits on Cursor to build like, dude, anything.
Yeah.
I have learned tricks though. Like I've learned tricks with like if I have a database, right? I'll actually use raw SQL to my advantage, and I'll build functions to like export the entire schema, like information schema, like a Postgres DB. And then I'll paste it into context, ask for a SQL command, come back to like whatever is PG admin, whatever it may be, run the SQL. That saves me a lot of tokens.
Right.
Because what you don't want to do is getting into like a prompt engineering feedback loop
is
like debugging itself into failure.
Yeah. It's a spiral you don't want to get down into. I think I got this, like I was trying to implement some feature and I got in this file. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going old school. I opened up my VS Code. I was like, baby, how are you? After a long time. No AI, and I did it on my own. So sometimes, and I think that's why, knowing the fundamentals is so important. Yes, you can build MVPs and stuff, but then when you want to build fully functional apps, that's scalable, you cannot rely just on AI tools. I feel, and I tell people, right now, AI tools, at least as of now, as of the current iteration, it's at the stage, I like to call it, it's a good sous chef, right? You cannot hand it the keys of a restaurant. You're still the one running it. You should know what's happening. But you can give it tasks like, okay, do this, then do that, and do that. And it just 10x's your productivity. It's a good productivity tool, but no, you cannot rely on it completely. Absolutely not.
Exactly. 'Cause I've spent more time prompt engineering something or prompt engineering my way out of something.
Oh my God, that thing. Oh yeah.
than prompt engineering the actual product.
Yeah.
So that's. I'm actually curious. Do you have like a flow? Like, some people on Cursor, they use like the rules files.
Yeah.
Some people write their own contextual kind of management middleware, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Do you have like a method to, I guess, preserving tokens, but also have you noticed any patterns that work well in terms of like, shorter prompts or more hyper focused kind of goal sets that you're giving the AI, like whatever that may be?
Right. I think I do use rules, not very extensively, but I use. I think that's been helpful. I think Cursor is becoming better day by day. I see the agent when they released it was not that great, but in recent days since the newer update, it's been really good. But I still feel how you structure the prompt is the most important thing. I think with just any AI tool, and especially in Cursor, um, I think first how I structure is like first I give it context, like of course not just the files, but context of what needs to be done. Then I break down the task, and I do it in Markdown. I don't know for some reason. I just do okay. I do like double pound context, double pound task, so it knows what to do first, what to do next. Because if you're not particular with the context and the order in which you need to do stuff, it will mess up the order. And rather than solving something, it will just end up with more bugs. So I think how you structure the prompt is so important.
That's super smart. So
Yeah.
do you tag the readmes as context? Like, do you do you at symbol tag the actual context, or do you just say, because Cursor has a system prompt too, right, in the
Yeah.
settings, or do you put that in the settings and say, okay, if you need something, look in these files, guide yourself, and then in the actual like prompt window, you're just kind of doing more surgical updates. Is that right?
No, I would do like more the system prompting within the actual chat window itself, and structure it properly. Like give it some context. Like okay, this is what overall needs to be done. Like let's say I'm implementing some feature from I was just integrating Stripe, and oh my god, it was so quick. I did integrated Stripe in like 30 minutes. I'm not even kidding. It was so super fast. And like I mean, if I'd done this like 1 year ago, it would have taken me oh my god a day maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy the speed at which, but like I said, give it context like okay, refer the Stripe documentation, I want this and this, and then I break down the task. Okay, first do this and do that, because it's once your code base keeps becoming bigger, it it doesn't know what's where, right? And if you just blindly ask okay, integrate Stripe, it might end up messing something. So you have to tell okay, first change this file, then change that file. I'm very very specific so that I don't come up with new bugs, because
Got it.
the mistake that I made early on when I was using these tools is not give it proper context, and although it would build me some feature, but it would mess up something else, which would then come bite me in the ass in the future.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh, I have to be careful of what's being generated. Like although AI is generating everything for you, but you need to know what's happening where, and you need to have guardrails of your own. Oh, okay, it's generated something that I didn't even ask for, so remove that. That's very important.
Man, so that's actually a pro tip for sure. I'm trying to think of. So you mentioned something really important is that you go file by file.
Oh yeah.
Like, do you use agent mode or do you use chat mode or do you use? I think the other one is called manual mode.
And agent ask, and what was the other one? Oh, and the other one is like if you just want to edit a particular section of within the code
Yes.
editor. Yeah. So I mostly so it depends on the the level of task. Like if it's complicated, like for example integrating Stripe, where you need front end, back end, everything being done, then I use agent mode. So it depends on the complexity of the task. But if
Okay.
I'm using something more like a basic edit, if it's single file or two files, then I would use something like just ask mode. So yeah.
Got it. Got it. So, bro, I'm curious to go back to just the chapter where you were at the health tech startup.
Yeah.
So you guys had 10 days, right?
Yeah.
Was this before LLM tools though?
Oh, this is. Oh yeah, yeah. This is ancient. If you talk in terms of AI days, this was May 2020. So yeah, pre LLM, way before LLM. So
Got it. So what was the stack that you guys built that solution with?
right. So we used a combination of Raspberry Pi and Arduino, right? So we had multiple sensors. So I'll tell you. So we had a temperature sensor that would detect the temperature, and then you also had motion sensors to detect where your palms are to spray the sanitizer, and Arduino was controlling the sensor part, the hand sanitizer part, and then the temperature and the checking in the employee was done with the Raspberry Pi. So all the Raspberry Pi, and you've used it before, so you use Python for that, and for Arduino it was C programming. So my God, it's been so long since I've used C. I don't know if I'll ever go back unless I whip out my Arduino again. But so yeah, I think tech stack was pretty simple. But I think for me the biggest challenge was I didn't know Python when I was actually supposed to build that. So I only know C++, and they were like, build us this in 10 days. I'm like, oh shit. Now what do I do? I have no idea. I'd never worked with Raspberry Pi. I'd only worked with Arduino up until then.
Got
So
it.
imagine such high stakes, and they're putting money in, and I've not worked with any of these. And I was telling my friend, dude, I'm not sure if I'll be able to pull this out. He's like, dude, I know you can do it. Just trust yourself. And kudos to my friend, he really supported me. And then, of course, it was just pre-LLM, so it's not like, you can prompt ChatGPT. Like, I wish I had ChatGPT back then. I would have done in 3 days, I guess. Like, hey, build me this in Python and so and so. So, had to go through documentation. I had to call up my friend who was a Python expert. I was like, dude, okay, I'm stuck here. How do I do it? And all this. But I think when you're learning something new, I think it's still so important to get your hands really dirty. And AI can enhance your learning. And that's what I'm doing. Hey, that's what context is about. Right? AI is not there to replace you. AI is just there to enhance your learning. And with AI, you can just pick up things so fast. Because you can really hyper personalize learning, and that's what we're trying to do even at Context.
Amazing. So, actually, I have a theoretical question.
Okay.
And a philosophical question.
Ooh, okay. I'm being
Dim
put
the
to test.
It's like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music. We'll add that in editing. So some people like Ray Kurzweil, right? He thinks that AI there's like this singularity theory coming where like, let's say there's an exponential increase in the productivity and reasoning abilities of AI to the point where AI starts to basically come up with its own next steps that are beyond the scope of like base reality for humans.
Right.
and then like the movie Her, like AI just kind of goes on and have you seen it?
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Oh, amazing. Okay. So when it comes to, actually, I do want to ask about this. When it comes to romance and AI.
Okay. Oh.
I know earlier.
I have strong opinions
you had
about
a
that.
moment
Let's
with
go.
VS Code.
Oh, yeah, baby. Let's go.
So what's her name? What's your VS Code instance name?
I don't have that.
We don't have to talk about it if you don't want
that. Let's not do that. But I do, this is my thing when I'm a big car guy. So when I buy my cars, I'm going to name my car something or the other. My friends are totally judging me. I'm like, screw y'all. I'm going to name my cars and I won't let y'all drive it. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh, dude. Honestly, one of my favorite movies is Iron Man. I love Jarvis.
Oh my God, tell me about that. I envision a future where Jarvis is actually reality, and I feel it's very much possible.
Dude, yes. Yeah. Like, and also, to be honest, like, dude, R2D2 right here.
Oh, I was about to ask that. I was like, I noticed when you started this podcast, I was like, okay, when this podcast is over, I'm going to ask. I'm like, can I operate that? And does it work?
Dude, it works. It was built in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Florida. It's an amazing unit. But dude, I think the day is coming where you can just straight up 3D print these robots. And eventually 3D print GPIO opens. And setups and circuit boards and things and just kind of build your own hardware. Yeah. But
and I think there are people doing that, at least, AI that can design its own hardware based on your use case and optimal hardware. I think they're still in stealth. It's like a friend of mine is building something like that. So let's see when she comes out. Yeah, you guys will know. Yeah.
Dude, okay. So is she building with like a 3D printing, like types of like metallics or something like that where you can like 3D print actual hardware, or is she working from like a different angle?
I think, again, they're in stealth, right? And friend of mine. So I would love to talk to her, what she's exactly building. But as far as I know, she's building more from just the design perspective, not actually 3D printing it. But, oh my God, just the use cases. Imagine, yeah. NVIDIA, big trouble.
Well, dude, I saw... So I met this guy on a flight, and he was a pilot.
Okay.
And he was building, like, a variety of these, like, machines, like bicycles and stuff with 3D printers.
Oh, wow.
Already, like, small 3D printers. So I think, like, if you look at the exponential curve, it's not unreasonable that in the future, like, you could just... It's like Spy Kids, have you seen that movie?
Oh, yeah.
It's an old school movie from, like, I think 2002 or something.
Right.
I'm sorry if I got that wrong.
Sorry, fanboys.
But they have this thing where, like, it's a pill, and the pill is any meal you like. It's any savory meal in the world, and you just eat the pill, and it's like a Thanksgiving dinner or something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's like tricking the senses, to think that you're eating like a full meal.
Okay.
But it seems like as, virtual reality and like these like, AR kind of concepts become more advanced, the future we're living in is like, it's like the simulation theory, right?
Right.
Which I heard about from so Elon and his brother talk
Okay.
about this a lot.
Okay.
But basically, what do you think about that theory? Like, do you think it's possible that we're living in some sort of simulation?
As much as I love to believe that, no, I don't. I feel like it's for like sci-fi fanboys. I think people who are either afraid of reality. I don't know. They're like, well, we're in a simulation. Everything is against us. Blah blah blah. No, I don't believe in that. Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's a wild theory.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But just to get to so I want to get to the entrepreneurial path, because I think whenever I meet someone who starts a company, it's a specific personality type, but also it seems like, there's something along the way that kind of prompted this. Like, was it seeing the health tech startup kind of function or even find success and you're like, oh, I can do this. And if I do it, I might as well start a company with my friends and we can scale it from like ground zero, maybe C Corp, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Was there an impetus for Context?
So I think for why I started Context, and it was actually my co-founder's idea, and he was pitching this, and I met him at an event, and that's why I also tell people, go to events, especially Tavern. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, please come.
Yeah.
Everyone's welcome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think these events. I know I'm digressing a bit, but I think these events are so great to just build a community. And how I started was, I think I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, even before the health tech startup thing. That gave me a taste of how it actually feels like. But I was kind of always inspired, and I had different motivations. Like, I always loved building something, so build something cool that solves people's problem. That kind of gave me an adrenaline boost. Like, holy shit, this is so good. Like, I built something and people are loving it and people find value out of it. So I think that's the biggest motivator. Not gonna deny, many people deny it, but I'm not gonna deny it. Be upfront. Money is also a big motivator. Hey, everyone wants to be rich. We want these kind of views. Look at this. We want a penthouse in Midtown Manhattan. Yeah. Who's gonna say no to that?
Bro,
Yeah.
I'm just disclaimer. It's not a penthouse, but it's a really nice 1-bedroom apartment that I love.
Oh yeah,
Dude, it's beautiful. The Hudson River's right here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very grateful. But next step, penthouse.
Penthouse. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Ben, you're gonna need a penthouse. Yeah, you need a penthouse. So I think money was again a big motivator, and many people for some reason deny it, and I don't know why many people see it as a bad way if money is a motivator. I don't think so. Like money. I feel money buys happiness. Many people might disagree. I feel money doesn't buy fulfillment, and I think it's a different topic, honestly. So I think that was another motivator. But after a health tech startup, went to corporate, worked there for 2 years at Ford Motor Company, then came to NYU, and up until my first second semester, I didn't start anything of my own. But I was like, okay, I need to do something. I want to do something, because I was just always afraid of entrepreneurship. It's just so super scary, and maybe you might relate, and I think any other entrepreneur out there can relate. Like entrepreneurship, although it's wonderful, it's also scary, especially at start. Like because there's just so much uncertainty. But I think what changed was when I started to go to a lot of networking events in the city. I started meeting so many founders who are building in different industries, and I think that's what I love about New York. Like, people from different industries, different background and culture. It's truly a melting pot. And I met such motivated individuals trying to make a change. I'm like, what? If these people can do it, I can also. And that kind of rubbed on me. And I think that's why I'm also so grateful. And I consider myself moving to New York being a complete game changer for me. I think that's changed my life, and that made me start this company. So I met my co-founder. He already had this idea for Context, although the product, everything was so different back then. But he had this vision of okay, to hyper personalize learning with the help of AI, and that really resonated with me, because I used to I'm a self-taught coder firstly. So did a lot of online learning, Coursera, Udemy certifications, all that. I'll never go back to those, but I did those. And YouTube, and all these are such great resources. And then I also used to teach college kids back in the day, because I used to run this club, and we used to take workshops. We used to teach programming and IoT to school and college kids, and I understood the problems that's there in the education space. How each learner is so unique, each individual is so unique, and no matter how great of a teacher you are and you have great content, it's impossible for you to hyper personalize learning to each student. So when I met my co-founder and I heard about his vision, I was like, oh my god, this resonates with me. I've experienced it. I want to join him, and I was like, you know what, dude, let's get together. And we first worked together for 1.5 months, because we didn't want to commit, because finding the right co-founder is so important. Some I remember someone was telling me finding the right co-founder is more important than finding a right partner. So, so I was like, we were like, okay, let's test it out. Let's test the waters. Just see, do we align in terms of our mission, vision? Do we work well together? I think that's so important. And we saw, yeah, we worked well together. Our vision and mission aligned, and then we got into an accelerator program at our college. It's called the Summer Launchpad. Thank you, NYU. They're the NYU Entrepreneur Institute. They really help first-time student founders and building and scaling a startup. So I think that really taught me about entrepreneurship, and since then I've never looked back.
Man, amazing. So there's a lot you said that I love. One of the topics was facing fears.
Yeah.
There is a quote I love from Henry Ford.
Oh, all right.
He says, "Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right."
Oh wow.
That was the quote from him,
Wow.
and I love it because I think like mindset is a lot of it.
Oh yeah.
But also, man, it's really important like to realize that almost everyone has fears, right?
Yeah.
And like, I'm curious, like, are there any like role models you think of? Like, you probably saw like Mike Tyson was on my computer here.
Oh, I saw.
have, like, a bunch
That's
of
wonderful.
people.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions.
Yeah. Oh,
I have a lot of like influences that remind me to keep going. Dude.
Yeah.
Are there any people that you look up to in terms of like your heroes that like, let's say if you met them tomorrow, you'd be like, whoa.
Oh my god. Actually, there are so many. I would say, and they vary. Like there are some entrepreneurs. Then you have sports person. I'm a big sports fan. More European sports. I've not watched a lot of American sports. Sorry, all basketball and baseball fans. I've not watched. I'm more. I've watched a lot of soccer, cricket, Formula One. So a lot of people that have been inspired from there. I think off the top of my head, Elon Musk is one. I know there's a lot of stigma, and people have opinions about him, but I think he's one of the greatest entrepreneurs we've had in the last 2 decades. So inspiring. Like he started companies that people thought, okay, is he crazy? What is he doing? Starting a space company, trying to sell electric vehicles, autonomous vehicles. It's crazy. But when he started, people thought he was crazy, and he failed, but he kept trying. And I'm sure even he didn't have an idea what he was doing, but he figured it out. He overcame his fear. So I think Elon Musk is so inspirational. Sports people, I think Kobe Bryant, his mentality. I think if there's one thing I try to take inspiration from him is his mindset. Oh my God, that mindset is. I don't think I've seen any other sports person come close with that kind of mindset. Rafa Nadal, he's a tennis player. I think his never say die attitude. Like gotta keep going, gotta keep pushing. I think another person would be, he's an actor. He's an Indian actor, so I'm not sure if you're aware. His name is Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah, Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh my God, yeah. He's
great actor.
Yeah. Have you watched his movies?
So with the team, Flutterflow, there are multiple amazing team members I have in India.
Yeah.
And every time we meet up to work together, like someone says something from Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh, okay.
Like
that's
quote.
Typical. Yeah.
Because Bollywood, like that whole scene is massive. It's arguably bigger than Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
So, Shah Rukh Khan, shout out.
Yeah. Hey, if you're watching this, big fan. Would love to meet you someday. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, that's cool that an actor, though, like Shah Rukh Khan, because
Yeah.
he's one of the most successful of all time.
Yeah.
Right? He's like Tom Cruise, right?
Oh yeah, like Tom Cruise. And I think the biggest thing that inspires me, like his movies are great, but more than it's just his background story. He came from a middle class background. He was a nobody. He came to an industry where it's hard to get into, like for an outsider, because Bollywood is such a well connected industry. So you have all this nepotism and everything. And he came in a day and age where it was back in the 90s, where only if you're a son or a daughter of some top actor or producer, you would get into movies. And then this guy came, changed, and became the biggest star. And I can really closely relate to his story, because I also don't come from a very privileged background and everything. So I think for any young Indian guy, I think they can relate to someone like him. So I think it's great. And I think what I've learned a lot from him is just to dream big. He dreamt big, works super hard, and just believe in yourself. And sometimes it's borderline delusion, but I think it's needed, I guess. When you're trying to achieve something that you cannot fathom, you have to think and even act crazy, and people are like, oh, is he crazy? But I think those are the people who make it. Those are the outliers.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that. Speaking of outliers, Malcolm Gladwell. Great
Oh
book.
yeah, it's in my reading list. I actually gifted that book to my friend, and my friend was like, it's a really good book. You should read it. I'm like, yeah, it's. I think that I'm gonna. That's the next book I'm gonna buy. I'm waiting for it.
It seems like as so language models are trained on information
Yeah.
that we all produce on the web.
Yeah.
So it's like an echo chamber, right, of public data.
Yeah.
I know OpenAI has some private data, like they did the Studio Ghibli collab recently, and they have some other
It was so
really
cool, though.
private. Yeah, really cool. Which might be my new LinkedIn pick actually.
Oh yeah. I see you were stalking my LinkedIn.
Actually, this whole episode is gonna be Studio Ghibli version. We're gonna run it through OpenAI.
That'd be so good. Yeah.
But like, it's amazing how as information not becomes commoditized, but it's like an echo chamber of public information, right?
Yeah.
Creativity becomes super valuable, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because like your ability to think literally outside of the box being like a data center
Yeah.
supporting an LLM, like that
Good way
becomes
to
a
put it.
pretty amazing trait
Oh,
to
yeah.
have, especially like with prompt engineering. Because in the future, let's say you can just build software like that.
Yeah.
It's the people that can see opportunities kind of
Exactly.
in the fog, if you
Yeah.
will, that and aren't afraid to act on those, right?
Right.
So it's kind of like trusting your instinct in a way, right?
Yeah.
And I love the persistence kind of motif you talked about, because there's another quote.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're a man of quotes, huh?
I got a bag of quotes.
Oh
down
yeah.
here. There's another
Whip
quote.
it out. Whip it out. We need it. Yeah.
The quote. It's actually someone I met at a Tavern event.
Oh.
They told me a quote that another person told them, so the
Okay.
quotes are getting around.
Oh wow.
It was volume helps negate luck. So if you think through that, it's kind of true. Like the more you do something, the higher the probability of at least one success.
Yeah.
The less you do something, the lower the probability.
Absolutely.
Including startups like
Yeah.
this. If I had stopped after the lunchbox didn't work,
I
I would be.
Oh man, nobody's buying my lunchbox. Screw this world. We're in a simulation.
I would be
Okay.
super sad,
Yeah.
and my food would probably get either really cold or really hot, depending on if the GPIO board was working properly.
Yeah.
Dude. But we persisted on it. We tried to build a drone delivery company.
Oh wow.
This was in like 2018 though. This was
Oh,
like
wow.
putting chutes on the tops of skyscrapers
Oh.
so that drones could deliver food in the future.
Oh, wow.
Like drop food into a chute. The
Okay.
chute goes into the building, and then residents can like get their food.
Oh wow.
I think that'll be a thing at some point with Amazon and
Absolutely,
these other
yeah.
companies. But we were like 8 years early,
Okay.
and no one wanted to
No,
invest
yeah.
in it.
Just the timing didn't work. Yeah. Timing
Yeah.
That's
So
sad.
then, but dude, on our like 7th or 8th idea, we actually did another COVID idea too.
Oh wow.
It was related to helping students on college campuses make sure that they're in compliance
Okay.
with the COVID policies of the campus, but
Campus,
also the
okay.
CDC.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they had to be, vaccinated, and they
Okay.
had to have symptom attestation reports
Right.
checked. That was the university's policy that carried forth from the, at the time, Biden administration.
Mm-hmm.
So we just helped the lab, who was Broad Institute, stream test results in as close to real time as possible as an API we set up
Okay.
to our backend,
Right.
and then the backend just as a React Native app
Okay.
fetched the results
Right.
pretty smooth. But that was a Y Combinator opportunity. So we went through
Wow.
YC, went through 21.
Whoa!
that.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Oh, I
so-
didn't know I was talking to YC alumni. Oh, wow.
Let's
Nice.
go. Oh, bro, honestly, it's amazing
Yeah.
opportunity, and I'm so glad that all of us during that time we
Yeah.
kind of jumped into the fog
Yeah.
and we did something proactive.
Yeah.
There was no guarantees, but man, the whole team was really, really smart, amazing people. So that's just an example of like COVID was happening,
Yeah.
early COVID, and while a lot of people were panicking, we were kind of like, what can we do to help?
Oh yeah.
Just trying to like stay level-headed.
Yeah.
And
You saw an opportunity.
yeah, saw an opportunity, and it's kind of like trust your gut too.
Mm.
I do feel like instinct is almost, there's like a divine quality,
Oh yeah.
I'm
I'm so big on instincts, yeah. And I tell people, I think I've learned in recent years, like, no matter what, yes, you can get some of the best advice in the world, but I think you gotta listen to your heart. I think that's so important.
Yeah.
You gotta trust yourself, and even some of the most successful people can end up giving you terrible advice. So
Yeah.
you just, and you'll keep getting so much feedback, And especially when you're in startup, you get feedback and advice every day from different people. Like even people who are not relevant. I'm like, okay, why are they giving me advice? I'm like, fine, go ahead, go ahead. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I just listen to my heart and just do what feels right. Yeah.
Listen to your heart.
Oh,
Dude, great song.
musician.
I know.
Alright, yeah.
Bro,
Whip out a
let's,
guitar, huh?
dude, let's
Yeah.
just record the song. Let's
Oh
get
my
the
God.
song on and plug the guitar in.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
No,
wow.
dude, honestly, I love that. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that because it's one of those things where you know, it's like once you're successful at something, it's not crazy anymore.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Then
It's
people
like-
believe in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think the other day I was talking to this friend of mine, and she was like, initially I thought you were crazy. 8 months ago when you were doing all the startup thing, and I'm at NYU, and it's a great school. I'm in the engineering school, and not many people are building something of their own. And here I am, building something, doing events, going to events, and she was like, I thought you were crazy. You were like, okay, what's with this dude? And now she was like, you know what, I believe in you. So yeah,
Amazing.
eventually I think people believe in you. It's just that you gotta first believe in yourself. I think that's why confidence is so important. Believe in yourself. And it might be borderline delusion. Some people tell me, dude, you're just delusional. I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's work, fake it till you make it. So yeah, it absolutely works. And I believe I think someone was telling me this. If you don't believe in yourself, then no one is gonna believe in you. So and the first step is just believe in yourself, and maybe your first idea won't work. Like with yours, your first idea didn't work. That drone idea was fantastic, but it didn't work, right? Timing or team, something or the other. I think it's about you just gotta fail fast, fail better, and you'll eventually hit somewhere. Even with context, we had multiple iterations of a product. We pivoted recently, like start of this year, and now things seem to be aligned, and we have traction. We are working with a couple of universities. 2 professors want to start selling courses, but it was after failing so much. We kept failing,
Wow.
failing. So
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 that's a huge accomplishment. Congrats.
Thank you.
That's
I
amazing.
appreciate it.
So you guys are earning revenue, or do you have any soft pilots?
we have soft pilots,
Okay.
and we have a meeting with the university tomorrow. So hopefully we convert. Yeah,
Let's go.
Let's go.
Amazing, man.
Yeah. So
That's one of the hardest parts.
oh, I know, right?
And it makes sense that you're starting in the community that you come from. So is it NYU, that community, or is it like another university community?
This is another university, but met the person at an event. So go to events,
Oh,
especially
amazing.
Tavern. But
yes, thank you. Tavern. The logo will just show.
oh yeah. You guys have background music for Tavern?
Not yet.
You
but
should.
dude,
Yeah, whip out your
dude,
guitar, like
we have a bunch of guitars here.
Oh, yeah,
And do you play drums or anything? Do you play any
No,
instruments?
I want to learn. Now I know whom to learn from. You gotta teach me guitar. Yeah.
Dude, we'll have a tavern group for musicians for
Oh,
sure.
oh,
That'd be
absolutely.
fun. That'd be fun.
You should do a workshop. Learn guitar, and then maybe we can set you up on a date or something. I don't know. Go with left field. Do
Yeah,
a
right?
collaboration with them.
Dude, that'd be a cool app if
Yeah.
it's like the app is you hop on a call and you fetch your guitar or something and you play like a 5-second serenade or something.
Uh-huh.
And if they like it, they keep on the app. And then if
Oh.
you go to 15 seconds, 45
Oh,
seconds.
okay.
And then, like if you hit 60 seconds,
It's a match.
instant match. People
Next
are,
$1 billion idea.
yes, dude, yes. So by the time this comes out, it's probably trademarked.
Yeah.
Copyrighted. So be careful.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, if anyone wants to build that, please do. Because we'll use it. I mean, dude, I'll be an early user for sure.
Oh yeah.
I mean, dude, one of the things. So is context B2B? Would you say, or is it? Is there like a D2C element to it too?
So we were D2C or B2C. We were, and we pivoted. We were more in the online learning space. So imagine something like Coursera or Udemy. So people would come to a platform, say what they want to learn, and our AI would generate the course structure and content and start learning. And the whole problem that we were trying to solve was, if you've also done online courses, it's very passive, one size fits all. Although the content is great, nothing against the content. It's just that you have static videos and a lot of information that's been thrown at you. And it's overwhelming, especially for someone like me. I cannot focus. Like, I struggle to focus. Maybe I have ADHD. I don't know. I should get tested. But it's so hard. I cannot watch a... Possibly.
Yeah, very possible.
I cannot watch a 30-minute video. So it's hard. So even when the content is great, when it's not personalized to you and it's not for you, you cannot pick it up. It doesn't mean that you're a bad learner. No. It's just that it's not curated for you. It's not in your learning style. So you're like, let's solve that problem. And it did well. We grew to 3,500 users within 4 months with $0
Wow.
in marketing spent.
Amazing,
So
man.
it was,
Congrats.
thank you. So
Wow.
people loved it, and I think what helped in terms of, you might be asking, how did we grow that much without marketing? Like without spending on marketing with no ads, it's building in public. And I'm very pro on building in public. People have different opinions. Some people are pro, and some people like, no, please don't. So, but I'm like, yes, build in public. And unless I know you're building something super proprietary, the next new architecture in AI that's going to change everything and achieve AGI, maybe yeah, be stealth. But let's just, if you're building something in the application layer, you have to build in public, because people know, and it builds trust. I think that's the biggest thing. It builds trust and credibility, and that's what happened with us. So then why we pivoted was it was hard to monetize because we didn't have credibility like Coursera, Udemy. People pay for their courses because some of the top universities create courses there, so they're willing to pay. We did not have the credibility. But what we had was a good product and a good vision and good insights, I would say, which no one else had. And so some of these universities and people there saw, what we like what you guys are building. If you can build us a platform where we can create the courses and then our students can enroll and get personalized learning, I think that would be great. We were like, okay, we're an early stage startup where people are coming to us with their problem. I think that's the best thing a startup can ask for. So we pivoted start of this year, quickly built out an MVP, started having demo calls with some of these potential partners, and 3 universities were like, let's go, we'll start trying a platform. They're already doing. 2 professors want to start selling courses end of this month, so we are prepping up a platform for that. Thank you.
Amazing.
And yeah, so now I would say we were B2C to answer your question, and now we're B2B and B2B2C. So what is it? B2B is like purely for universities. So imagine platforms like Brightspace, Canvas, right? So their university would use it within their ecosystem. So if you are a professor at a college, you create courses and then your students would enroll and learn from it. And then there's this B2B2C part where, let's say you're a course creator, you want to create course, but then anyone in the world can use the course, right? Can learn from it, right? So that's the aspect. So there's more the creator economy aspect. So imagine something like Udemy, Teachable, Skillshare. So in that space, and I think we see a lot more potential there because people have great content. It's just that creating courses is so hard and time consuming. That's the first problem we're solving. And second problem, to personalize learning to each learner. But now with AI and with our platform, and that's why we're building this platform. We are not building mere chatbots and tools, which many of these people, other companies are doing, and they're getting it wrong. We are trying to build this platform because we believe education can truly be revolutionized if we help both the educators and the students. And that's what we're doing. And that's why we have this B2B2C aspect.
Amazing. I love that. And it sounds like you're tackling one of the huge issues in education, which seems to be like gap learning and gap analysis, like where you may have, let's say, 10 students and two of them like read really fast, say, and the other, maybe another one reads slow,
Yeah.
but they understand it the same way.
Yeah.
Maybe one understands abstract concepts well, another understands simpler concepts, but they all arrive at the same place eventually.
Yep.
It's just they're learning at different rates,
Exactly.
speeds, etc.
Yep.
So that is incredible.
Yep.
So is your main kind of user base? So let's say like there's a college professor watching from Fargo, North Dakota. I don't know why Fargo, but
let's go. More customers. I'm happy. I'm not complaining. Hey,
So,
yeah.
can they just contact you guys and like build a course for their students, or who's your like ideal customer profile?
Ideal customer profile would be course creators, right? They can either be at a college, where their students use it, or they're more like creators where anyone in the world can just enroll into their courses. So, but ideally course creators. And the best part in our platform is we built it in such a way that you can create any kind of course. Because ultimately what we're doing, and this is the biggest insight we got by talking to professors, is they don't want AI to just randomly generate content, right? They want content to be generated from their materials. So how it works on our platform is a course creator would come to our platform, say what course they want to teach, who is it for. They would upload their materials. It can be like research papers, documents, syllabi, anything upload. And then we process all the document, and using that our AI will generate the course structure and content, and also our AI teaches from that, right? So we are not just only generating the content, but AI is also teaching, analyzing how the student is performing, providing them feedback. You as a course creator or an instructor can see, okay, how are my students performing, how are they faring well. And so like I said, we're helping both the educators and the students here.
Man, that's amazing. That's a really cool use case
Yeah.
for sure. Because I remember even when I was in undergrad, I took calculus.
Okay.
Started, I was like, huh. I wasn't trying too hard initially, so I was like, I wasn't even, I was playing music. All
Music,
the time.
yeah. I was about to, yeah. You were just playing music, going around.
But when when I started focusing,
Yeah.
one of my favorite professors, he broke down the concepts in like analogical terms. Like
Oh yeah.
he would use stuff like, here's your toolkit, and in the toolkit is something to solve derivatives and something to solve exponential equations, et cetera, et
Right.
cetera.
Oh wow. Nice.
And just like the way he framed that just clicked instantly. And then I got like a 4.1 and
Oh wow.
was asked to like do like a student assistant kind of thing,
Oh, look at that.
TA kind of thing. Yeah, dude, let's go.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Yeah.
But the initial time around, I did not get a 4.1. I
Mm.
dude, barely. I retook the course basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So because I didn't try, I was
Yeah.
preoccupied with music,
Yeah.
which is great. I love music,
Oh yeah.
but it just goes to show like I think it's like the Einstein quote. If you don't understand something well enough, you can't explain it simply. You know.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing. I think it's if you don't understand it well enough, you can't explain it simply. Something like that.
Or I don't know. Or is it like even I'm confused. It's
You're
like
wait a second.
if,
We're gonna
if,
get this
if
quote
you
right.
I think understand something really well, you can like explain it to even a 5-year-old or
Simply.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain like
And-
a 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
And I think
yeah.
the biggest, you touched upon one really cool topic. And so, in your case, you were not a bad student. It's just that you didn't get the right learning, right? And once you got,
I just
like,
wasn't interested.
yeah. And
I wasn't trying it.
Yep,
Yeah, it
exactly.
was just at
once
that
you were
time,
interested and you found the right professor who taught you in a way that you understood,
Yeah.
you were like the super smart kid, got a TA ship or whatever, and
Yeah.
see, so the difference it makes, and that's what you're doing in context, right? Since we have data on each student, like let's say so there's this professor who wants to create a course on entrepreneurship, right? And let's say there's a CS student who's taking the course, and then there's a finance student taking a course, right? With AI, we can, since we have the background on them, we can really personalize learning. If it's a CS student, we can give them analogies on, give them case studies on AI startups. If there's finance student, we can give them case studies on finance or fintech based startup, right? So we can really hyper personalize learning, and with analogies, right? Since we know truly, who you are, what's your background, and we can like take it down to the most granular level. Like let's say you're a Marvel movie fan, so we can give you analogies with that, and you'd love it. Like many people learn with that, learn through that. Like there's a friend of mine, he's a huge anime fan, right? So anytime he's trying to learn something complicated or something new, he just asks ChatGPT, try to explain me with anime terms or something like that, and he says it helps him so much, right? So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so that's
Man, I
what's
love
possible.
that.
Yeah, and I think that's why this is the most exciting time in education. People have this negative view on edtech and education space. With the Department of Education being dissolved, with the funding being cut and everything. I feel this is actually the best time for AI to come in, because you can scale one professor's learning, right? So you don't need a lot of manpower. Rather, you just need the right content, and AI can just scale and personalize it, right? So I think this is the best time to build. And this is the best time for AI in education, and we finally can solve the big problem of how do we really personalize education, learning to each student.
Man, dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. And dude, honestly, there are testaments to that throughout history. Even dude, I personally, I'm a person of faith. I believe in God.
Oh, wow.
And you look at like someone like Jesus Christ,
Mhm.
right? Like, dude, he spoke in parables.
Right.
And dude, the parables are what have lasted all
Oh,
these years,
yeah,
right? Like,
that.
and a lot of the big religious figures, they spoke in like riddles or rhymes or parables, because it's like human beings. It's like there's like a semantic kind of layer to what we do.
And you
It-
can
we're not just-
relate to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Not purely logical, right?
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
logic plus emotion plus all these different
Yeah.
factors. So that's actually amazing. Are you training your model on like great educators throughout history, or like how do you do that, or are you just kind of fine tuning to the style of the professor or whoever it is?
Yeah, style of the professor, and the best part on our platform is, and I think what other players in this space get it wrong, it's like we are giving the full control to the educators, right? We are giving you the most powerful AI tools, and then you have the control. I can have a quiz assignment. I can also tell AI to behave in certain ways. So we are giving them full control, because I believe it's AI not replacing the professors or the educators, but rather enhancing their learnings and scaling their learnings and making it better, right? So we give them the entire control, and they can choose, okay, AI can behave in such a way. I want AI to evaluate a student on these metrics. So on each and every component, so we let professors create quizzes, projects, case studies, flashcards, and so and so, and we also give them the option. Either you can create it from your end so that everyone gets the same content, or each learner can get their own version of a case study or project. Like I said, when I gave that entrepreneurship example, CS student gets a CS related case study, a finance student gets something related to their field, so something like that. So you as an educator have full control of how the AI is going to behave, what kind of content is going to be put forward, and even from a student perspective, I actually just implemented this feature yesterday. So as of today, you on our platform, you can learn any content in your language.
Wow, very cool.
So during onboarding, we ask a student, okay, what language or medium of instruction you prefer, right? So let's say you prefer Spanish, the content will be taught in Spanish, right? So that'll be so
Wow.
cool. Yeah.
Very
Because
cool.
yeah, this use case came through a professor. This professor was like, hey, a lot of my because this professor is based in Israel, a lot of my students understand are more proficient in Hebrew. It would be better if the content is in Hebrew and taught to them in Hebrew instead of English, right? And that's the thing, right? Some people just learn better maybe in their mother tongue. Same back in India, when I used to be there are a lot of YouTube channels that only teach in Hindi or Tamil because people there, they're super smart. It's just that English is not their language, right? So sometimes language is a barrier. So with AI and personalizing education, you can remove any kind of barriers. It can be language, it can be learning style, preferences, anything.
I love that so much because there are sometimes people cite like, let's say some school districts maybe get less funding or something than others, or maybe there's like public and private schools and charter schools and all these schools where like some people cite resources as kind of a not a reason for maybe quality education, but some sort of pointer to say, well, with the right budget kind of thing, with the right motivations, even by the teachers themselves, because sometimes it can be, you don't know who you're going to get in the classroom.
Yeah.
You don't know like what they're going through as well personally. Like we're only human.
Yep, exactly.
So it seems like your software also helps mitigate the risk of, let's say, humans being humans sometimes and having that effect
Exactly.
potentially make its way into the teaching process, which could impact positively or negatively the student, right? So is this a situation are you going to make a context to like teach teachers how to teach in the future, do you think?
Ooh. Wow. Never thought of that, but I think that's very much possible. With AI, you can keep track of how can I teach better. How can I learn better. I think that was something I was exploring a few months back. With AI, you can not just only learn something, you can also learn how you learn, and that's what we've been. We want to implement eventually, where there's an AI that keeps track of how you're learning, how you're progressing. So instead of having an AI that's dedicated to a course, imagine having an AI mentor or an AI academic advisor who sees how you're progressing through different courses, like how you actually have academic advisors in your college, right? So imagine having such a mentor, and this is something I don't know if I do it anytime soon, but it's a big future thing that I definitely want to implement on context, because that will make learning like end to end, right? You're not just learning from a course perspective, but you're learning across the spectrum. So imagine actually getting your degree online and through AI. That's our goal. We always had this, and we still have this. We want to build an AI university, where anyone can come, say what they want to learn, and get a degree in whatever they want. Hopefully that's the big goal. It's a big crazy goal, but why not?
That.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And honestly, man, you mentioned something that I love, which is the concept of learning how to learn.
Yeah.
Or learning, about your patterns when it comes to,
exactly.
Absorbing information. Sometimes not, information overload, not burning out, etc.
Yeah.
There's actually a TED Talk by Barbara Oakley. Shout out.
Okay.
She's from my alma mater, Oakland University.
Oh, wow.
And she gave a talk called Learning How to Learn.
Okay.
And it's an incredible talk because she talks about focus and diffuse mode thinking. And she mentions this thing that I actually empathize with as I've kind of matured, which is we have like multiple modes of thinking. Like we can focus in on something and be like hyper focused, like a calculus problem or a programming problem. And then we have diffuse mode. Where we're just scrolling Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
And
Brain rotting.
Yeah, just letting the brain just
Yeah.
kind of chill. But that's
Yeah.
actually important for learning. Same with
Oh,
sleep
really?
too.
Okay.
Because
Interesting.
sometimes we unconsciously seemingly like discover things while we're sleeping,
Right.
which means that our brain is still working.
Yeah.
It's just in a different
Subconscious
mode.
mind.
Yeah.
Have you read the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind?
Oh no.
You should. I
Really?
think one
Okay.
top 5 books I've read.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You should definitely read. Hey, check it out. Yeah, absolutely. I think it talks about that book was of course about a lot of things. Positive affirmations and things like that. But subconscious mind is so powerful, and many
Wow.
people are not aware of it. Like you said, some people get ideas in the sleep or just walking because you've put your conscious mind to rest. And now your subconscious mind is working. So I think that's great that you brought it up.
Yeah, no, it's amazing, man. I think it's a pattern. So Barbara Oakley mentions this in her talk, but
Okay.
Thomas Edison, for
Mhm.
example, he would fall asleep on a chair
Mhm.
with ball bearings in his hands.
Okay. Interesting.
So because he kind of figured out that like he was focusing so hard on a problem, right?
Mm.
And then when he fell asleep, the ball bearing would drop on the floor and the bang would wake him up again.
Yeah.
And oftentimes going from diffuse mode briefly back to focus,
Uh-huh.
it's like he had a revelation, like he knew what the solution was.
Oh wow.
It's similar with like, Einstein would walk through the forest or
Oh, yeah.
or go out in nature.
Go exactly.
So
yeah.
it's like diffuse mode and then back to focus.
Focus, yeah.
There's something like the brain, if you let it rest a little bit with something, it's like it's still processing.
Yeah.
But we don't know exactly what that means.
Yep. Exactly.
It's like unconscious, whatever
Yeah.
people call it. But that pattern seems to be interesting in that, do you think the AI, like it seems like the AI can maybe pick up on, okay, like they got 5 in a row right, and now they got one of them wrong that they got right before. Maybe they're getting tired or something. Or
Yeah.
maybe
I
it's
think
time to rest.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I think AI is so good at picking up patterns and anomaly detection. So I think, and AI is 24/7, right? So it can no matter what time you're learning, when you're learning, it can like see through. Okay, how have you been progressing? So something like this, and that's such a cool concept you brought up. And AI can say, okay, dude, chill, relax. you fried your brain. Yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully someday AI comes with that. And it's neat. I think, especially in this hyper stimulus world, I think I'm kind of digressing, but when you talk about relaxing your mind, just going on a walk, and hey, we're just right by the Hudson, so
Right? The West Side Highway is great.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful.
I
Beautiful
know,
walks.
right? Yeah, I love. I often go. Not so far, but around Little Island and stuff.
Oh,
I love that
yes,
spot.
Little
Yeah,
Island's great.
Chelsea Pier is a beautiful.
Chelsea Pier.
absolutely.
They got like the pickleball courts up there.
Oh right. Oh wow, I didn't know there was a pickleball court. Oh
yeah,
wow.
dude, it's actually dude. We should play.
You play?
We should play.
Oh, I love it.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's on.
Oh
It's
yeah,
on.
let's go. Actually, this Friday I'm playing pickleball in Williamsburg.
Really?
Yeah. So there's
Oh,
this guy. He's popular on LinkedIn now. His name's Skylar. He hosts this pickleball events. So feel free to drop by if you're in Williamsburg. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that might be a shout out for the community. Is it open to the
It's
whole
open to
community?
all.
Okay,
It's open to
cool.
all. Anyone tech startups, anyone is open to all. They play so they're starting now because it's outdoors, so they were closed for the winters, but now they're starting and they play every Friday in McKinnon Park in Williamsburg.
Okay.
So 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Oh,
Wow.
so it's a little early, yeah. So if you're a night owl, sorry, yeah, you'll miss it. But yeah, it's so great, and that's why I love New York. Like so many different kinds of events. It's not just tech bros meeting at a bar. You have events like these. I absolutely love. Yeah. So shout out to Skylar and Tech Pickleball. It's called Tech Pickleball. Yeah, so
amazing.
check it
Yeah,
out.
that's awesome. We'll try to link that. Definitely on the Instagram page,
Oh,
the
absolutely.
website,
Oh yeah.
and then in the mobile app coming soon.
Oh yeah.
You
All
know,
the best.
We'll
Looking
have a
forward to it.
social kind of bulletin where
Yeah.
you can see these links, the
Oh,
community.
nice.
No, that's cool. That's really cool because honestly, walking, even exercise too, like for the brain.
Mhm.
I've been kind of learning more about, what's good for memory, what's good for stress.
Mm.
And I'm actually curious, do you have any techniques to help you focus when you feel like your focus is waning? Like for instance, some people, they listen to classical music.
No.
Or some people, they kind of listen to an awesome song that pumps them up and then they're ready to go. Do you have any techniques like that?
I think I have two. Like, if I'm like just too drained from sitting in front of a laptop, I just close it and go for a walk. I think that's better. Go for a walk or meet people. Like, I'm a social animal, so I love meeting and talking to people. I'm like, so I'll just go talk to my friends and just try to relax my mind. And just get off from the screen, like mobile or laptop, because it's just so hyper stimulating. And that's one of the reasons I also quit social media. I'm not on any social media, only LinkedIn. So I'm only on LinkedIn. So yeah, please follow me. Yeah. So
Amazing.
I think that's one. And classical music, I actually do that. I do that when working, actually. So yes, I love listening to pop music and all that, but then my focus is so bad, then I start vibing. And instead of working, I'm like, that's what makes it beautiful. I keep singing. So that's how classical
That's
music
One
is
Direction,
better.
right?
Yeah, One Direction, absolutely. Yeah. I love One Direction.
Great
But
band.
yeah.
Great band.
Oh yeah. So that's why I listen to classical. I have this there's this some dude on YouTube had this 1 hour mashup of all classical bangers, and I just downloaded it and I listen to it while working. It helps me focus, right?
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I sometimes I'll say Alexa because Alexa's right here. I don't want
Yeah.
to wake up Alexa. I'll say Alexa, play classical music.
Music, yeah.
Or what? She'll play like Amazon Music Station. It's pretty amazing. For me too, like I like peace and quiet too. Like in the early morning hours,
All
I'm
right.
very productive.
Oh yeah.
So I just get like a cup of coffee. Actually, sometimes I do intermittent fasting too.
Oh yeah. Oh
So I
nice.
won't eat like until 12 or 2.
Okay.
I know a lot of people do like the 18-6.
Yeah.
They kind of break up the hours like
Yeah.
that, or they only eat in a 6-hour window or something like
Right.
that. But our bodies are pretty amazing.
Oh,
like,
I know. Right?
Like wisdom around the body is like a deep well of knowledge.
Oh yeah.
Like I would actually do. I would like to take a context course on
You know,
wisdom of the body.
body. Oh yeah. Hey, you should create a course, yeah?
Oh yeah.
You can become a course creator.
Welcome.
Welcome
Yeah,
to
I'd love
Wisdom
to.
Body. Yeah.
Yeah, just like homemade
Absolutely.
remedies for
Yeah.
stress and
I
there's
think
different-
meditation helps.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. I meditate. Sometimes I miss, but I try to meditate every day, even if it's for 5 minutes. I think meditation, and I combine that with gratitude journaling. It just relaxes your mind, and like go into this Zen mode. And I think it's great. I try and it's not like I don't. I try my best not to use my phone first thing in the morning. Going through LinkedIn. I know these days I've been doom scrolling through LinkedIn for some reason. I need to stop that. That's why I have all these app blockers on. But yeah, I think mornings is very important to just keep yourself away from screens. And it's because I don't think as humans, when you read about it, we were never used to all these kinds of things. Our bodies were never wired to have so much stimulus of information, getting these cheap dopamine. So I think it's very important to protect what kind of information you're consuming.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I also don't watch news, because
Yeah.
just most of the time it's just so negative,
Yeah.
and I try myself to be as positive as possible. Yeah.
Man, that's wisdom. Because it's like your it's like thoughts become actions kind of thing, right?
Oh,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
actions kind of become reality in a way. So it's
Oh,
like
absolutely.
definitely got to be careful of that side of it.
Oh,
So
absolutely,
like
exactly.
meditation, like I pray, like
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
that's wonderful.
which could be, some people say it's similar to meditation,
yeah.
praying to God, praying
Yeah.
to,
It's about focusing on something.
yeah.
Some people it's focusing on God. For others, it can be just staring at the wall. But
Yeah.
basically, keep your mind relaxed. Not think about 1,000 different things. Yeah.
Yeah, someone gave the analogy where it's like you're floating, you're floating in the ocean, right?
Oh,
And then you slowly float down to the bottom of the ocean, the seafloor,
right.
and you're looking up towards the surface. So you're at like a peaceful place in the
Mhm.
seafloor, but you can see like the waves and the surface are kind of busy.
Mm-hmm.
But you're just kind of, it's like Octopus's Garden, the Beatles song.
But you're relaxed. You're away from all the
Yeah.
noise.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, do you have a visual when you meditate, like to help you get into like the flow or like the kind of peaceful state, or do you just kind of like close your eyes or listen to guided meditation?
I do guided.
Okay.
I do guided. What others? But I feel meditation comes in different forms. Prayer is I think so great. I should be doing that more. Walking. I feel walking, even gym. Honestly, I feel working out is also a form of meditation. Unless you're, I don't know, scrolling through phones. I hate it, when people. Even today, I was working out, and I was waiting for the fly machine, and then someone was just on their phone. I was like, "How many sets you're left?" He said 1, and he took like 10 minutes because he was on his phone. I'm like, I get so annoyed with that. People, please don't use your phones in the gym. But
Yeah.
oh god, it's so annoying. But
Man.
I think even activities like these, where you're just off your phone and you just focus on whatever you're doing. Your workout, trying to get that mind muscle connection. Even that's meditation. So focusing on something or the other. It's meditation at the end of the day.
Yeah, dude, no, that's awesome. And I think it's like you know, it's important to. So we're social creatures or
Yeah,
beings, right?
absolutely.
I heard from a neighbor. I'm not sure. My neighbor is the source. So I'm not sure where they got it. But they told me this stat that they read that like we need like 6 to 7 hours of social kind of interaction
Right.
to feel at peace.
Oh yeah.
And if we don't, as social beings, it's like a form of it can be like a form of punishment almost. Like there's a reason why isolation, like chambers and things in prisons,
Yeah.
are among the most severe punishments.
Yeah.
Because us as social beings, like there's something electric about being among a community or family. So, and it's great being at NYU, because you have a ton of colleagues, classmates, which is awesome. And outside of NYU, it sounds like you pickleball, Tavern.
Tavern. Oh yes, Tavern. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Are there any other like kind of clubs or groups that like you participate in that you kind of learned about while you were in New York City, like local?
I think I just go to a lot of events. In the last 1 year, I'm sure I've gone to more than 100 events. I've hosted in the last 3 months 15 events of my own. So got into this, and I think I was mentioning this before. COVID has made us realize how important in real life events is, because once we went through the lockdown period, we were like, oh, we are so miserable when we don't actually meet people in person. Yeah, Zoom is all fine, but I'm not a Zoom person. I'm like, I need to meet person. That's why I'm loving this podcast. Like here, I'm here,
Yeah.
right in front of you. Beautiful sunset.
Beautiful sunset.
Yeah, right by the Hudson. Yeah, we got the skyline.
Yeah,
so.
dude, it's coming in right now, man. We'll
yeah.
have to.
We're gonna get some good shots. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do some promos like welcome to my LinkedIn page.
Oh yeah. Put it on a dating profile or something. Oh god, but
Dude, the sunset.
yeah.
I'll get the fan out, like the hair blown in the
Oh.
wind, like, very lightly.
Feels like a movie, yeah. Oh my god, but
Shah Rukh
yeah.
Khan's like,
Who's this guy? Oh my god. Look at that. But
he's like, cast this guy immediately in my next movie.
hopefully,
And that's where your
someday.
movie career started.
But I feel community is so important in terms of no matter what you do in life, I think like you said, and that's an interesting start. I've never heard of it, but I think that must be true. I'm sure it's true. Like you need social interaction. We were and we've always been social beings. Like there's this book called *Sapiens*. Have you read it?
I heard about that. Yeah.
You should read it. Again, top five. I've already said 2 out of my top 5 here. But yeah, I think another fantastic book which I read like 2 months ago. And that talks about how we've always been social beings and we thrive in those environments. So any kind of isolation and people these days say lone wolf or whatever that means. Like it doesn't work. You your mental state cannot be that. And for people who are depressed and who are just not in good mental state, I think 9 out of 10 times just because they're not interacting with other people and they're not very social. And people say I'm introverted. It's not natural to me. I can argue that we are naturally wired to be social. We are naturally wired to be extroverted, And yes, there are different forms of extroverts, but or different forms of social beings. But the foundation is that we are social beings, and we definitely need to interact. And it can be anything. So it's about finding your community. It can be any kind of people and community. And the best part is you're in New York City, and that's why I tell people who are in this city, please don't stay in your home. Get out. I don't stay at home. I come out every day, even on weekends. I come out. I'm working for my college, or go to events or host events of my own. Find people, meet new people every day, and mostly founders and people in the startup ecosystem are my vibe. So that's my community, and it just makes me happy. And there have been like 1 or 2 weeks that I didn't go to any events, and I felt weird. Like, oh, I've not met any new people this week, and I kind of feel weird. Like, what is this? So I think just interacting with people is so important. Just keeps you energized. Like that, some people say that my battery gets drained when I interact with people. I'm like, no, my battery gets drained when I don't interact with people. I need interaction.
Yeah.
So, and that's important. And and when you ask about communities, there are a lot of great communities in the city, like Tech Walk. It's been long since I've been to one of their walks, but they're great. They do a walk in Central Park, so it's like a walk and talk. I highly recommend people to
Amazing.
check out Tech Walk. It's run by Christine. She's awesome. And I think Andrew Young's events are great. I go to his events often. I think it was his event that his event was the first networking event, if I'm not wrong. So
Wow.
yeah,
Very
and
cool.
that's where it started. Tech pickleball, we already mentioned. A lot of great running clubs. There's pitch and run that
Okay.
happens. Yeah, they do one right by Chelsea Piers. So if you're ever there, you should check them out.
Wow.
Yeah, they do every day. So I think there are so many, and Tavern, of course, the best, the best. Yeah, I think
Amazing.
yeah, I think there's just so many events, and my own. Oh, I'm also hosting events, so people please drop by. But I think the best part is, no matter what your niche is, you're gonna find a community here. It's so great. I don't think you can get this anywhere in the world. No other city has this. So I think for people, especially living in New York City, like you're lucky that you get to live in such a city. You can find your people, your community. It's just that you have to step out of your house, get out of your comfort zone, and find your people, and you'll definitely find them, and you'll be more happier. Like, no matter how stressful your work life, your startup life is, when you interact with your people, it can be friends, family, people at networking events, and it just makes you feel happier, because there are always going to be hardships in life, but social interactions and being with your people just, sometimes you just end up forgetting all the hardships that you're facing.
Man, I love that. I love that. That's actually a great message. I mean, that's like a beautiful concluding message too, even. But I think there's a deep truth to that, without a doubt. Even in scripture, talk about like two are greater than one, that pattern, but also like the positive sum theory of like 2 + 2 = 5 kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Where like us together equals something greater than ourselves individually.
Apes together strong. That's a meme. But
oh, what's it called?
Apes together strong. It's a meme. It's a meme.
I love that.
But
I'm gonna check that out. Apes. Let me just take a note of my
apes
laptop.
together. But
apes together strong.
But I don't know if it's from a movie or something. But yeah. But
oh yeah, so like gorilla apes like together.
Yeah.
Oh cool. Okay.
Oh yeah,
okay.
I forgot the movie name, but yeah. But like I said, the positive sum minds, and I'm gonna definitely touch on that topic. When I host events, and I also meet people in the events, and many people come with this transactional mindset, with this zero sum mindset. Exchanging LinkedIn's. They see, okay, what can I get out of them? Can I get a referral or something like that? You shouldn't go with that mindset. You should go with the mindset, okay, how can I help them?
Yeah.
How can I be of value? How can I, just make good friends? What really changed for me, and when did networking events started becoming fun for me, is when I went with this mindset. I'm just gonna go and chill and vibe. I'm just gonna have fun.
Yeah.
I don't care about the kind of people. Am I gonna meet a potential investor? Some big shot or something? No, I'm just gonna go chill, vibe. Have fun. If it's at a bar, just listen to good music and stuff, and let's take it from there. And since I started having this mindset shift, networking events became a game changer for me. I made so many new friends. The kind of network I built in New York City. That's how I met Ben. I met Ben at a networking event at New York Tech Week. He was pitching a startup. Amazing. So I met him, and I think I met him. I went to another of his events. So, and that's how the community is built. And it's a network effect, literally. You start meeting a few people, and then you meet friends of friends, and then you start realizing, oh, it's a small world. Oh, you know him, you know her, and you make good friends. But it comes down to a point, of how you are as a person, with the mindset you're going, because people can sniff out bullshit. People can sniff out, okay, they're coming with this zero sum mindset, they're coming with this more transaction mindset, and it icks people. But when you go with this mindset of, okay, how can I be of help, and just be a good person, just don't be an idiot. Just be a good, have a smile on your face. Go to an event, have fun. Be fun to hang around with. And I can tell you, many people have told me, and I feel like bragging. People say I'm charismatic. People say I'm a good vibe. And if you're just that, you'll end up making and building a good network. Honestly.
Yes, dude. Dude. Can you stay for hours and hours? We'll just do the podcast.
Oh yeah, let's
the sun comes out.
Yeah, moonrise. Yeah, we'll see the
moon vibes.
Yeah.
Dude, we'll try out some Moonlight Sonata. We'll get into the deeper entrepreneurial topics.
Oh yeah.
After dark episodes.
After dark. Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's like now we talk about the crypto Web3 space.
Oh, now we're talking the real deal. Oh god.
In the dark web, there's some startups I heard about.
Yeah, you gotta put some money on them. Yeah.
No, dude. There are a lot of startups out there, and sometimes dude, sometimes companies literally all they need is one client.
Yeah.
And some people operate entire companies on just one client, one corporation or whatever
Yeah.
it is. Or it could be a private individual who just wants to invest in something helpful. So I love that. So it seems like that pattern of like making yourself useful to others will inevitably unlock opportunity, seemingly, because it's like try to be the type of person that you like to be around, kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're around people that you like to be around.
Oh yeah. That's great. Yeah. It's similar to this quote I always keep saying. Treat others the way you want them to treat you. Right.
Man, I love that.
And what's that another one? Is it from the Bible? Do unto others.
As you'd like done unto yourself
Unto
or
yourself.
thyself.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, that is the truth.
Yeah.
That is the truth, man. Because it's like, at the end of the day, like, money, all that stuff doesn't really kind of like last unless like generational wealth or something.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, it is cool that maybe AI in its, as it progresses to kind of take over some of the jobs out there, maybe one of the benefits is that the people that were working those jobs, perhaps they weren't, perhaps some of them, a percentage maybe weren't happy in that career path, say. Perhaps AI doing those kind of mundane jobs that, humans aren't necessarily designed to do, just repetition all day long. We're more, we're more like kind of creative and emotional and communicative. Maybe that will help spark, a more enjoyable path for most people in their kind of jobs moving forward. And maybe that's a huge benefit of the AI movement.
Wow.
It kind of frees us of the type of work we don't like to do so that we can do the type of work we actually like to do.
Wow, it can change the workforce. Wow, that's a very interesting perspective. And people say, oh, AI is going to steal our jobs and so and so, but AI will create new jobs. And today I learned from you, AI might actually end up making you love your job more because it's doing all the mundane and tasks that you don't like. I know as a developer, you don't want to do documentation, debugging, testing, right? You wanna bring your creativity forward. You're like, I think someone was telling me, with these AI tools, like lovable, programmers are gonna become more like artists. You're just gonna put your art out there. You're gonna express yourself, and you don't have to worry about boilerplate and syntax. Oh, is the semicolon missing and all that? Rather, it's gonna become more of an art form, a more creative expression, and AI is gonna make people love their jobs more. That's very interesting that you brought up.
Yeah, dude, I love that how you you speak poetic words to that thought pattern further, because it's honestly it's pretty cool. I notice it even with myself. Like, I definitely don't feel like that burnout feeling that I used to feel when I was working on like a full stack project,
Right.
and you have to debug every line of code. And it's like sometimes like one little thing would take days,
Exactly.
because like you go to Stack Overflow. Okay, it's not on Stack Overflow.
Oh,
Then it's not. It's
My
maybe
bad.
some random YouTube video with 2 views.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank you.
thank
dude.
you. Most probably some Indian dude who's like,
Dude, thank you.
whoa, thank you, man. Oh god, it's crazy. Gone are those days, right?
Oh my, dude, I remember there was like cores issues and stuff where like I would find a video online with like 0 views, and I was like initial viewer. I'm like, dude, thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. You saved my life.
Yeah. So that's also another lesson too that hopefully AI can help with, is like proliferating helpful content,
Yeah.
that is genuinely helpful for people, and also maybe weeding out some of the unhelpful content that maybe is more kind of zero sum or transactional in nature. Actually, that would be a good idea for a social network. Someone build a positive sum social network with content that makes you feel good.
Oh wow, that's great. But recently, I don't know. There's this company called Series that's getting viral.
Oh,
AI social. Yeah, I went to their event last Friday. I think they're great. 2 founders from Yale.
Wow.
They're juniors. One's name is Sean. The other's Nathan Neo. Super smart guys. They're building this where it's like it's like all of us are there. It's not like Facebook or something. Where you have all these feeds or nothing. None of that. Like, you tell the AI what you are, what your personality is, and all that. And based on it, it's going to match you with similar personalities and profiles. So,
cool.
AI power connector, AI super connector.
Cool.
And,
Very cool.
And there's already something similar, but it's more on the professional forefront. Bodhi, have you heard of Bodhi?
Bodhi, no.
Yeah, you should. So there's this AI super connector. Imagine LinkedIn, but then you had this AI who's connecting you with people and stuff. So it would have phone conversations with you, And
Wow.
it's a voice agent. It's so cool, and it has an Australian accent, so it's also funny. You love interacting with it, and it has connected with me with a few people. And the reason it also got viral, it raised the seed round on its own.
Wow.
It spoke to investors. The AI itself spoke to investors and raised an 8 million seed round.
What? No
It's
way.
crazy. It's
That's
crazy. Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So I think AI again. If you see with these, it's not AI friends. AI is not replacing people. Rather, AI is like connecting people, right? It's connecting with the right people and eliminating all the junk which is there with all social media, which it has become. And that's one of the reasons I quit all Instagram and stuff. It's just algorithms, pushing out content which just makes you addicted, and it's actually not helpful. And all the essence of social media, which it was with connecting people, is lost. But with tools like Bodhi and series, they bring in the OG social media back, and AI is at the forefront.
Man, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And it's a hopeful message. Because people, I mean, if you're watching this and you're not aware, like these companies are not only incentivized in a huge way to try to make you become addicted to the app, but they know about psychology. They know about dopamine.
Oh, absolutely.
They know about behavioral patterns and things. I almost think it's borderline. In some cases, it's borderline irresponsible a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword, right? It's like as your time frees up because of AI, what are you gonna do with your free time? Because some people may doom scroll longer, like another 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
But really, it's kind of like I think people with more time to think. I think we're gonna hit like hopefully another like Renaissance kind of chapter of humanity.
Oh.
Where like really really creative thinkers just have a little bit further time to just think through thoughts without doing something monotonous or their day job calling to have them do something that an AI now does kind of thing. So yeah, again, humans we're pretty amazing. I mean, we invented all this technology.
Exactly.
AI.
Built all this.
New York City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's really I would love to see humans live up to our potential.
And that's why humanity is lost, because we've always put creativity at the forefront, and with AI, and I think Sam Altman was saying this like last year or something, where he said we're in the best time to build, we're in the best era to build. You have all the tools. There's no excuse. So, and like you said, wonderful point you brought forward. We can have another Renaissance style era where it's all about putting your creativity in forefront, and not worry about how it's gonna be done, or worry about mundane tasks. Or you have this big vision, and humanity might come up with some new inventions, new tools that we never thought of, because now humans have more time to think. But the challenge is, you said the freed up time. How are we gonna use? If you're gonna use your freed up time scrolling through TikTok, it's not gonna be helpful. But rather, if you're actually using the freed up time to think creative things, think about building something, solving something, I think we are in for a great future.
Yes, man, and that's a beautiful note to even conclude this episode.
Oh yeah.
But man, we gotta have a part 2 coming up, because these are beautiful topics.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, as we progress, hopefully, maybe at some point we'll have R2 kind of chatting with us. We'll have we'll have Context, the actual robot.
Imagine,
the physical bot.
Maybe there'll be a podcast where our robots are talking to each other.
Oh, dude, that's actually there are YouTube videos where I saw people. Just one final thought. There are YouTube videos where I saw people pinning AIs that
like
were
two
acting.
ChatGPTs.
Yeah.
Besides each other talking.
Fine tuned though on the thoughts of a philosopher,
Okay,
or it's like
interesting.
Einstein versus Edison
Okay.
talking about some modern topic,
Oh.
or Da Vinci versus Socrates
Oh wow.
talking about TikTok or whatever it is.
Oh, I think I've seen. Oh yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, so I mean, the ability to preserve wisdom is also an interesting use case.
Ooh,
I think we'll see how that kind of fares, because oftentimes wisdom just comes from, I heard this amazing thing from this person in a conversation,
Okay.
or it's like I saw this person do something amazing, but it's not like recorded.
Yeah.
It's not like broken down into some
It's
vector
complicated
database or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, honestly, man, thank you so much for coming on today. We appreciate you. We love you. And we are brothers now.
Oh yeah.
So, dude, you can come chill anytime, man. Because, dude, as you can see,
I love
the view is actually
the view.
really pretty.
Oh,
right
the
now.
sun is set. Yeah.
Love
And
it.
we got really nice. The colors were kind of
Yeah.
changing a little bit.
I think we got some
So-
good shots. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh,
Samya, thank you so much, man. Oh,
Yep.
let's go.
Thank you.
Let's go.
ended with a bang, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Literally.
Yeah.
And symbolically.